to the program. Well, for some business owners, digital disruption can feel like a bit of a threat. But tech startup NetStripes is looking to change that perception. The company is aiming to bring small businesses together to discuss the impact of disruption on a range of industries, connect them with leaders and influencers, and encourage digital engagement. The Bizruption event series now reaches a community of over 1,000 people. And for more, NetStripes CEO Dinesh De Silva joins us now from our Sydney CBD studio. Dinesh De Silva, really appreciate your time today. Bizruption, tell us a bit about it. When did it come about? How did it come about?
James, thanks for having me back. Bizruption was started, I think, in May 2015. It was created as a vehicle to create mass awareness of this issue of the lack of digital engagement in our country. And it has become hugely popular amongst small business owners, startups, and investors. Now we have increasingly about between 125 to 200 people coming for every one of our events. It's only limited by the capacity of venue most times. And the next Bizruption is going to be on the 27th of July.
And the key message, or the hoped outcome is to be more digitally engaged. But what does that exactly mean? I mean, that surely is beyond just simply having a website, for example. I mean, how do you define digitally engaged?
Yes, so digital engagement is about engaging customers and prospects that are looking for products and services on the internet. And according to the latest research, only 22% of our small businesses are what they call a fully digitally engaged. And that means nearly 80% of our businesses don't have a strong digital presence. Now, a digital presence is made up today. Your website is the foundation of your digital presence. Then you get social media, you get email marketing, then you get the various forms of internet marketing. All that forms your digital presence. So that is the vehicle of your digital engagement.
And why do you think we lag? Why do you think there is this gap in being fully digitally engaged here?
NetStripes had asked this same question. In 2014, we researched 8,000 businesses, James, to find out what was the reason. Because we knew 84%, at that time, digital engagement was only 16%. And we knew 84% of our businesses couldn't get it wrong. And then we discovered that they fell into one or more of 6 traps. And that was the real issue around digital engagement.
And what were some of those traps?
The main issue was a lot of people didn't know, knowledge was a key issue. They didn't know what to do, where to go. Money, they had limited budgets, they were time poor, small businesses were time poor. And strategy was one of the most important things they didn't get right, because strategy is fundamental to succeeding online. And there were a couple of other important traps they fell into. One was they didn't get the right provider. Often they used freelancers and they got tossed around or went to a large provider who they couldn't afford.
And how do you change that? Because surely in order to go from not particularly engaged to fully digitally engaged, there's got to be more than simple awareness around being digitally engaged. So what do you see as the key steps that small businesses, or business from any size, need to take to increase that engagement?
Having done the research and seeing what these traps were, what NetStripes did was we actually went to Fishburners, which is one of the largest startup places in the country. And we got together with a few smart people and built this platform that helps small businesses to protect them from their traps and get digital engagement rapidly and extremely affordably. So now there's a cloud-based platform which they can go to, they can get their strategy right, and in weeks they can build strong digital engagement.
Is it constantly changing as well, the aspects of being digitally engaged? You made mention before, obviously the rise of social media has had a marked impact. In one of the statistics that you supplied, Australia has the 5th highest use of social media, yet only 18% of businesses engaged media via social media. Sorry, engaged customers, I should say, via social media. That's astounding.
Absolutely, and a lot of businesses have a social, or they think they have a social media presence because they have a Facebook page or a Twitter page, but the fact is just having a social media page doesn't really engage your prospects or your customers. You need to make sure you post them with value and deliver value through these posts. Not just to, nobody wants to be sold, so you can't just put buy this, buy that type of post. It has to be a post that has informational or educational value. And you need to do it consistently, at least if you're not doing it 10 times a month. There's no consistency and there's no real engagement.
All right, Dinesh De Silva, have to leave it there. Great to have you back on, thank you.
Thank you, James.
Well, cloud accounting